How to draw a football. Welcome to Rain Francis Art for Kids. Today I'm going to show you how to draw this cute little football with coloring pencils, step by step. This is an easy drawing lesson for kids, beginners, and kids of all ages. Hi everyone, welcome to Rain Francis Art for Kids. My name is Rain. In this series, Things Around the House, I show you how to draw anything that you can find around your house. So let's draw. This is what you'll need for today's drawing. You're going to need a piece of paper. I have my dollar store drawing pad here. It's 11 by 8.5 inches. And you're going to need a pencil, an eraser, and if you have an old paintbrush hanging out that you've never used to paint with, it works really well to dust off your page. Now for color today, I have one color. It's sort of an orangey brownish color, but you can use any kind of brown as long as it's not too dark. I have my black Sharpie, and as usual for outlining, I have my fine-tipped black marker. So why don't I clear off my workspace here and we shall begin drawing our football. Okay, so a football basically almost looks like an egg. It's a little thinner than an egg, but you want to do sort of an oval. That's too eggy. I want to make it look a little pointier on the bottom. You know, it's not round on the bottom, it comes to a point. There we go. So it comes to a bit of a point here and a bit of a point here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to draw these lines. All footballs have these white lines that go across them on the top and kind of around the bottom. And I'm curving them a little bit. It does look like an Easter egg, doesn't it? I'm going to be erasing my pencil marks after I outline, so I'm not too concerned about this right now, but right away I'm going to draw some eyes, some big oval eyes, just like this, and we'll draw the pupils inside, and we'll put in details after, okay? Now, there are seams on the football, so we start here, we're going this way, and let's pretend we're going through here. And let's pretend we're going through here and continue down to the bottom. Same thing on the other side, but we're going to curve it this way, okay? So we've got a seam here. Let's pretend we're going through there, and we'll continue here. Pretend we're going through here, and then bring it down to the bottom. Okay? And it always has stitches. And this is what stitches look like. I'm just going to do 6. Or maybe 7. I'll put one up here. Lucky 7. There we go. Now that's all I'm doing for the outline right now. I'm going to outline it with black. And I might fix the shape up a little bit as I go. Like I said, I'm going to be erasing my pencil marks. So I'm not too concerned about following the lines right now. See, I made it a little thinner here. I thought it was a little too thick. So I'm just going to go ahead and outline everything. I know it looks a little messy right now, but when I erase things, let me erase this so you can see it better. Okay, that looks a little better. Now, seams. And the stitches. Okay. And I'll outline those eyes right away so that we don't color them in. All right, there's my football. Now, I always tell you, if you're going to erase your pencil marks, make sure your marker is dry before you start. You don't want to smudge your marker on your drawing. So I'm just lightly erasing all of my pencil marks. I love doing it this way. I used to just outline and keep the pencil marks, but I don't know, I think it looks so much better when it's all outlined with a black marker. I like it that way. But it's your drawing, so I'm going to leave it up to you. It looks kind of funny right now, but it'll look good in the end. I hope so anyway. I made it a little pointy on the top, maybe a little too pointy, but that's okay. Okay, so why don't we start with adding color? And like I said, the only color I have is this brown color. I'm going to color in the entire football, except for these lines and except for the eyes, okay? So let me begin. Now, if you're using coloring pencils and you followed along before, you know what I'm going to say. Don't press down too hard, because what we're going to do is color a second time or maybe a third time to get the color we want. That's called adding layers. So this is the first layer of brown. I'm coloring in a second layer of brown here. And I'm not pressing down hard. Just want to be careful not to get into that white band. You see the difference between one layer and two layers? Very different. The more layers you add, the more intense your color is, okay? So you don't need to press down hard. And don't forget to turn your pencil once in a while. That way it doesn't wear down all on one side. If it wears down all on one side, then usually it just keeps breaking over and over and over. I'm just adding a quick third layer. So that's all I mean by layers. Just coloring it in more than once. You can add as many layers or as few as you like. If you're happy with how it looks after one layer of color, just leave it as is. But don't forget to turn your pencil. Do you like football? Do you watch football? Do you play football? I like football. I like watching it. I live in Canada and we have the Canadian Football League. It's a little different from the other leagues in other countries. But it's fun, and I used to actually go to the games. And in Canada, the playoffs, I can't remember when they are, but it's always in the winter. And it's always cold, and of course the games are outside, right? So my friends and I would bring blankets, and we would bring thermoses of hot chocolate with us, and it was just so much fun going to football games. The team that I used to support was my home team. I used to live in Montreal, in Quebec. I'm not paying attention, and I got a little bit of brown into the eye. Let's see if I can erase it. Oh, I'm lucky I was able to erase it. It's not easy to erase these coloring pencils because they're made with wax. So let me just be very careful around the eye there, and I'll be very careful around the white band. Okay, so now I can continue talking. I used to live in Montreal, Quebec, and the team from Montreal is called the Alouettes. Alouette is a French name for a bird. It's called an alouette. I don't remember what the English translation is, but that's what they were called, the Alouettes. And I used to go to their games. I had what's called season tickets, meaning you pay a special price to get a seat for every single game they play at home, because the tickets sold out really, really fast. And if you had season tickets, then you didn't have to worry. You had your tickets for the whole season. All right, I'm adding a second layer to my football here. And the season tickets I had were 2 seats, so I always brought a friend with me every time, and we had so much fun. They played in the snow a few times. It was really something. All right, I'm going to be really careful here, paying attention to what I'm doing so I don't get brown into the white. There we go. Now don't forget to turn your pencil. This is a fun little drawing for this time of year. It's football season, that's for sure. And I know in some countries, football is not like American or Canadian football at all. It's what we call soccer. And I know in England they call it football. I don't know if they call it that in other countries. Maybe all of Europe calls it football, I don't know. How are you guys doing? Are you happy with 2 layers, or are you going to do 3 layers of color? I think I'm going to be happy with 2. All right, that's looking good. Maybe I'll just do a quick 3rd one. Now, usually when you see a football, these stitches are white, but I didn't know how to do that without, coloring all the brown over it, so I decided to keep them black. My pencil needs to be sharpened, so I'm going to do that right now, because when it gets dull, just a second. When it gets dull, I can't get into the edges. You know what I mean? It's just too dull to get into the edges, so I have to make sure that I can get into those edges to make it look nice. Like this little corner here. There. And this little corner over here. And then this little corner down here. That's why I need a sharper pencil. And I'm turning my pencil. We're using a lot of color today from this pencil. I don't usually have to sharpen. But some colors, they wear down quicker, I've noticed. All right. Now let me see. I think I might do just a quick 3rd layer to make it a little more of a vibrant brown. Just so we don't see so much of the white underneath, the color of the page. But this is a dollar store drawing pad, so we're limited by what we have here. And I'm not saying dollar store stuff is bad, it's just not the best quality of paper, so that's okay, we're just having some fun, right? I'm going to be careful around those eyes. Yeah, I think a 3rd layer made this look, popped it out a little bit. Made the colors pop, as they say. Now I'll do the 3rd layer down here. And then we can add some detail. My dogs and cats are snoring. I'm so used to it that I never even mention it anymore. I'm just like, oh, that's what that noise is. There we we go. It's all colored in. Now let's grab our black Sharpie and we're going to color in those eyes. Just the pupils. Mr. Football. There we go. Oops, forgot a little bit. And let's take our fine tip black marker and add some details. Okay, first of all, I'm going to give him a little crooked smile with a little cheek. Just like that. And he is a football, so I'm going to give him some feet. Just a line and an oval and a line and an oval. There he is, ready to kick off. And that's our football, my friends. Now don't forget to sign your work. I want you to be really, really proud of the beautiful work of art that you just created. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, my friends, and we'll see you next time on Things Around the House. Thanks for watching. Bye.